Hey guys, it's your pal Tim here at Oh, wait a minute. I'm not at Nerd Out Comics. Where am I? Well, I am in an undisclosed location, somewhere north of the equator, in a vault deep beneath the Earth's crust. And yes, today, my friends, we are going to explore some of the hidden secrets of Mylar Madness's personal collection. That's right, it's Mr. Mylar. That's my new name here on this particular series, and we are going to brag about some of the stuff that I've collected over the decades. That's right. I did try to stream live earlier. I didn't like the way the video was breaking up, so I'm just going to record a shorter segment and just look at a few things that were in my collection. I didn't plan this. This is something I'm just uh, sitting here in my comic room, which has very little space. As you can see, my gigantic comic book wall. Um, these are all boxes. There's some on this side too, and on the other side. As you can see, there are more boxes over there, and it goes around the corner um, towards the door. It's just comic madness. And if you didn't know, I also have a hell of a lot of toys. Let's spin it around this way. We've got some graphic novels and some really cool things. Here are boxes of toys and boxes of toys and boxes of toys. And yeah, you see that? Those are all boxes of toys, and it goes all the way back 2 rows in. Um, so guys, we've got a lot to explore over the several episodes of this particular show, Into the Vault. Um, and let's just go ahead and get started, shall we? Let me see if I can find a way to prop this camera up. And there we go. And we're going to start off with a couple of magazines that I just recently purchased. These are hard to get. These are all first prints. Marvel graphic novels. This is the death of Captain Marvel. And you can see this is a beautiful copy. Very little spine ticks. Um, very few corner dents. I mean, it is gorgeous. Captain Marvel, The Death of Captain Marvel by Jim Starlin. One day I will get Jim's autograph on the interior of this particular book. But until then, let us move on to another book by Jim. I got this whole set. I think I paid $12 for all of these books. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books for $12, less than $2 a piece. And these things were in immaculate condition. I don't normally buy things unless they're in the condition that meets my requirements. That's just the kind of person that I am. This is Dreadstar, once again, another book by Jim Starlin. Very hard to find this book without a lot of fingerprints on it because the damn thing has one of those black covers. Now, that's not a fingerprint on the cover there, my friends. That's actually just on the outside. But that there is Dreadstar. This is Marvel graphic novel number 3. Beautiful, beautiful art book with Dreadstar in it. I believe his first appearance was in Epic Comics for Marvel. This came a little bit later, but still, I mean, look at this graphic novel. It's $4.95 cover price. First print. Imagine getting this book today. This would be a $14.99 book. Absolutely gorgeous shape, especially with this black cover. I mean, I kid you not. Look at that. Look at that spine. It wasn't even look. It still has the. I don't think it was ever opened. You see that? It is beautiful. Yes, and that is Dreadstar. Then, of course, we've got a couple of Conan the Barbarians. We've got graphic novel number 19, The Witch Queen of Acheron. Another beautiful Marvel graphic novel. Beautiful artwork on the cover by Beckman. He did this in 1986. This book, I mean, look at this thing. It is, once again, a gorgeous comic book. Once again, I don't think these things have ever been cracked open and read. Of course, they were raw when I found them. They were stacked between a bunch of magazines. Pardon me. But beautiful, Beautiful copy of Conan. Another Conan issue that we have. This is Marvel graphic novel number. The number's not on the cover, so I can't tell you, and it's already sealed, so I'm not going to open it up. This is Conan the Reaver. Okay, Conan the Reaver by Don Crayar and John Severin. John Severin, that's a name that goes back a ways. Another beautiful Conan the Barbarian book. I mean, look at that gorgeous artwork on the cover. Is that not beautiful? Conan's coming back into style, guys, with the new Sword of Conan, Savage Sword of Conan, and the new Conan series by Marvel. So let's continue going on, and let's see. We've got another Starlin book. This was a Starlin collection. Starlin and Bernie Wrightson. We've got The Incredible Hulk and Thing. Now, there was a beautiful little delight in this one. You see, this one was signed by Bernie Wrightson on the inside cover. That was really nice. And of course, everybody knows Bernie's signature is very unique, so it's very hard to not understand that is an authentic Bernie Wrightson autograph. And look at this beautiful, I think it was only opened to show the cover. I mean, can you imagine getting this book? I mean, this was $5.95 American back in the day. Probably got it for like $1.75. Like I said, I think I paid $12 for this entire set. Then, of course, we have another Marvel graphic novel, number 12, with this beautiful Bill Sienkiewicz cover, and this is Dazzler the movie. Yes, did you not know that Dazzler was supposed to have been a movie? No, this is the storyline of Dazzler the movie. You all know she's a rock star, and of course, all rock stars get their opportunity to be in a movie, kind of like Lady Gaga. Yep. This is Marvel graphic novel number 12. This is by, it's not Jim Shooter. No, it's James Shooter and Frank Springer and Vince Coletta. Some great creators with a beautiful cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. See the Hollywood sign in the background for those Hollywood sign collectors. And there you are, guys. And look at that beautiful spine. I mean, it doesn't get much prettier than that. And that's that beautiful Dazzler, the movie, Marvel graphic novel number 12. Filled in some nice holes in my Marvel graphic novel set. And of course, this is not a Marvel graphic novel. This is an Eclipse book by Englehart and Rogers. I believe it was a one-shot. It is called I Am Coyote. Now, this is the very first appearance of Coyote in an Eclipse comic book. Coyote had his own series. And for those of you who are in the know, in one of the issues of Coyote, I believe it was issue 10 or 12 or something like that, Todd McFarlane did a backup story with Scorpio Rose. So that is a highly sought-after issue from the Coyote series. Now, I used to love to collect first and lasts, and I did get the first and last issue, plus the Todd McFarlane issue of Coyote, and then I think I eventually went back and just got the whole series because the character intrigued me. And then it was funny that I didn't realize I didn't have the first appearance of Coyote, and sure enough, I believe this is the complete, unabridged first appearance and origin of Coyote here in this Eclipse magazine. This was a $7.95 book. This one's a little thicker than the other ones, and if you were to look at this book and see the shape of this book, I mean, this was just like, where the hell did this, what did this book do for the past 20 years? I don't think it's ever been opened. I mean, normally you'll see the color loss along the spine right here, because you can see where it should open. There's like a little ridge, but no color loss at all. This is an absolutely gorgeous book. And Steve Englehart just does a great job writing this book. One of my favorite Eclipse characters is Coyote. Of course, the other one is what is it? Crossfire, I believe it is. And of course, oh, I think that's it. Last but not least, I think this one was in a stack too. This is a stack of back issue magazine. I just love that. Is that Neil Adams? No, that's Norm. That's a Norm cover of back issue. Where we've got Iron Fist and Master of Kung Fu Shang-Chi. That just happened to be here on this stack. That's probably because I have to put away these magazines. For toys, let's take a little peek at a couple of toys that I have just sitting here. I did not plan this. These were just actually sitting here. Here is a vintage Flash figure. Still on the card. I know it's in the plastic, but it's signed by Harry Lampert. Harry Lampert. Yep, he signed it right here in Tampa when he was visiting one of the Tampa Comic Cons, one of the ones that Tim Gordon used to run right over here on Cypress Street. And that is Harry Lampert's autograph. And on the back, I actually saved a little clipping. Harry Lampert created the hero, the Flash, and this is when he passed away at 88 years after his battle with cancer. That was sad. And of course, it doesn't say the year on this particular one because I didn't trim the paper right. Actually, this was given to me by a friend. Thank you, Richard, for giving me this piece of history. I know you cut that out and gave it to me, and I forever put it in with the figure that got signed by Harry on the DC Direct Action figures. Yes. That's one of my cool figures. Now, this is another cool figure that you're probably not going to see in many places. Everybody here remember a TV show called Get Smart? Oh, yeah, I'm sure you did. Well, this one's Maxwell Smart, and it's it's created by Exclusive Premiere, and these were numbered, if I remember correctly. Comes with his shoe phone up here. There's a little shoe phone and a base. And of course, what makes this unique? Oh dear, what is that on the... Yes, I do believe I see this book. This has been signed by Don Adams himself. Don Adams signed this particular figure. This is one of my prized collections from Don Adams. I really need to get this framed, especially since the bubble is just starting to turn. I want to be able to stop that. Don Adams signed this figure at a local, signing show, and it was a few years before he passed away, which is super fantastic. You don't see many of these. This was in 1998. Has it been that long already? 98. 20 years, that figure. 21 years old, that figure. That's really all we're going to talk about today. Oh, we could also talk about this right here. Here's another really cool magazine that I got recently. This is actually a recent purchase. This is Velocity, issue number 4. This is just a really beautiful cover. First U.S. edition. This is the first. The first 3 were actually, I believe, French, and this was the first U.S. issue of Velocity. I believe it's got French comic stories in it. It's a black and white in the interior with a color cover, and that is just a gorgeous cover of the eye peeking through the bouquet. Very creepy, very cool, and the reason why I got it is because of its gorgeous condition. I mean, when are you going to find, a magazine from the oh dear Lord, what was it, 1980s? Also from Eclipse. And I'm talking about, this book is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. This is just beautiful. Oh, actually 1991, but still, 91. You're not going to find a magazine from 1991. Some beautiful interior art. Looks a lot like Greg Vandruska did the artwork in here, doesn't it, Greg? Yeah. Looks a lot like your artwork. Right on. There you go. Velocity issue 4 from 1991. That's a short little trip in my comic vault. I know we're not digging into the good stuff quite yet, but give us time. I've got to get into these boxes, and I've got a lot to get into. So we're at the 15-minute mark. That's all I want to do is make these little 15-minute segments. The live streams will probably be a little bit longer. I got to work on my Wi-Fi because I'm all the way so deep underground that apparently the Wi-Fi doesn't reach. So gonna have to look at maybe a signal enhancer or maybe a boost for the Wi-Fi. Maybe put a Wi-Fi box down here in the cellar because we've got lots to go through and to explore, both you and I. And I'm excited to do this series. This is a little bit more of me. That's why it's not the whole crazy Tim. This is real energy Tim. This is real Tim right here, just chilling in my comic room, talking to you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that everybody can see all the new comic books. Let them know about the new comic books coming out on Wednesdays. Look at my show at Nerd Out Comics. And I'll see you guys very, very soon for the next surprising episode of Into the Vault here with your pal Tim. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm still going to go. Going to go for the button. So get back to me. Yeah, I've got to climb a couple ladders and run down a couple hallways. See you soon.